Hey, this is the Mighty Quinn. Stop shaking. I'm doing a video here for, if my calculations are correct, it's been a year and 6, almost 7 months since I've been on T. Almost 2 years since top surgery. And I am up camping in the mountains at almost 11,000 feet. And stop saying when I left for the trip, I saw on Facebook that exactly 1 year ago today, I was in Fort Collins packing to come up here. It was my last camping trip while I was living in Fort Collins. I was all on the top of Cameron Pass. I was at 10,000 feet, and I did an epic video in the middle of nowhere in the mountains with a cabin behind me. So seeing how I am camping at 10,000 feet, exactly 1 year later, I needed to do a video, and I found a random cabin that's out in the middle of nowhere. It has this badass stove in the middle of it, and there's no road into it. You have to hike into it, you know, so it's pretty cool. It was an epic find. It's definitely something for my adventure buddy, she knows who she is, and I to come explore too. But anyway, I thought I would do a video. I wish I had brought some, I used to have some hematite necklaces that I would wear a lot before transition, and I wanted to show those because before they would kind of like lay right here, it was no big thing. Now I can barely get them clasped, and they're like right on my neck. So I'll have to, when I get home, I'll add a pic of that. I mean, I knew my neck is totally grown, outgrow all my shirts and all that, but that was pretty funny. I've had people say lately, something is definitely different, and I don't know what it is. I really think my voice has been really low lately, and if I try to make it even lower, that's ridiculous. You know, but it is much lower than it used to be. I went on a hike today. I was looking for the Continental Divide Trail, and I didn't actually find it, but I did over 3 miles, and like I said, I started at 10,700 some feet, and at the peak of my hike, it was 11,600 feet. And, you know, altitude really kicks my butt as far as asthma goes. The older I get, the worse it is. So I gained, you know, like 1,000, elevation gain of 1,000 feet over 3 miles. And I'm pretty proud of that. It kicked my butt, I ain't gonna lie. And I didn't get to stop in the middle and have lunch because dark clouds were looming over, and at this high up, it's very easy to get hit by lightning. So I came home. But home meaning my tent. Anyway, that is one hell of a hike and one hell of an elevation gain and all of those stuff put together. I'm really proud of that because you know, I had top surgery 2 years ago, and I knew I was going to lose everything, but with the muscle cramps and, you know, just losing all the strength I had, that is one hell of an epic hike. I feel like I'm back to where I was before top surgery. So, I still don't have pec muscles, but whatever. I also have an arm injury, so I haven't been able to lift with my arms. It's all been leg stuff and walking and that sort of thing. Recently I've been really tired lately, really exhausted. And backstory, a couple months ago, I was feeling, I've gotten used to testosterone and how it can be when I'm angry or feeling aggressive. And, it was, more aggressive than I'd felt since I started, and I didn't like it. And having been on it that long, I'm like, why am I having you know, I don't know. So I was emailing my doc back and forth. She's badass that she has an email system set up so we can chat back and forth. And I said, hey, I don't like the way I feel. I think I'm going to lower my dose a little bit because I feel like I'm too aggressive and I don't like it. And she's like, okay, you know, whatever. So I went down to 4.5 sub-Q once a week. And I was definitely less aggressive, and that was nice. However, I was noticing other stuff. Like, I was really, really tired all the time, And that was occurring before I lowered the dose, that I was getting this fatigue, only it was much worse. You know, my stomach was tore up because I was having to do 2 energy drinks to get through a 12-hour shift at the hospital. And granted, we're pushing carts all day, we're sliding people all day, it's heavy work, but I've been doing that for 15 years, so, you know, what's the deal with that? So anyway, I went to the doc for my stupid arm that won't heal, and she did follow-up labs, and she wanted to check how my T levels were doing. Every time she sees me, she wants to check my T levels, but she wanted to see specifically since I messed with my dose a little bit. And she was also saying that my red blood cell count did not raise on testosterone. I'm like, oh, well, that's a good thing, you know, less chance of heart attack, stroke, you know, blood clots, things of this nature. And she goes, you would think it's a good thing, but it should have raised at least slightly. So I'm worried you're anemic. All right. So we did my labs, and I was very anemic, and my testosterone level, last time we did it, was like 700 some. This time it was 234, which no wonder I'm exhausted all the time. You know, I'm anemic, and my T level was redonkulous. It had bottomed out. So I'm back on 0.5 subcutaneous, trying to figure out how to do iron without tearing up my stomach. But anyway, we'll figure something out. Long story short, I actually have energy. It feels great, which what I attest this hike to, that I was able to push through being short of breath and mildly dizzy, because that's asthma, that's what it does, and fatigue, and actually being able to do one hell of a good hike, you know, so that's awesome, you know, and hopefully that'll solve some other. And I noticed I was getting cold a lot, which I haven't done since I started on T. Well, apparently that's an anemia thing too, you know. So anyway, we got that figured out, hopefully. You know, I'm trying to change my diet to increase my iron levels. But of course, everything that increases my iron levels is, you know, stuff I don't want to eat. So, except steak. I can have steak every single day. But, so that's it as far as updates with my testosterone. I can't think of any other changes or anything. The muscle cramps might be an anemic thing too. I looked at that. I finally talked to another trans guy that says he has muscle cramps, and then finally a few other guys were saying too. I thought it was only me, which was worrisome. I'm like, why am I having symptoms nobody else is having, you know? We shall see. We shall see. I did go to an ER at first for my arm because I'd started a new company, and this new company will charge you $50 to get seen in the ER, and that's it. That's all they charge, which is amazing, and I think that's how they should be working in the medical field, right? However, they found records from forever ago that listed my old name and my old gender, and the front desk lady was amazing. You know, I'm like, here's my driver's license, can you change that stuff? And you could tell she was a little nervous. She was sweeter than nothing, that kid. And she actually said, I don't know, but I'm going to try my best, you know, and I can't expect anything more than that. That was perfect. That was great. The doctor and the nurse, not so much, and I still need to follow up on this. I felt that there was a little hostility from the doctor. Now, I'm not saying that's from my trans stuff, but he was literally like, yeah, you have a sprained arm, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, wow, dude, really? Be a doctor, you know? And they gave me a sling, and they gave me some steroids for a few days and whatnot. And they gave me some pills so I could, like, sleep and maybe get ahead of the pain so I could get through shifts, you know, because after 212s, I was in ridiculous amounts of pain with it, but I can't stop working, you know? So I'm like, whatever, you know? So he goes back out there, and they're chatting, and I can hear them, and I'm hearing them talk about my arm and that kind of thing, and it's she, this, she, over and over again. And I'm sitting there trying not to get fucking pissed. Jesus Christ, I have a beard. I have a beard, man. Look at my license. There's no excuse for that shit. Even if I didn't have a beard. You know, there's no excuse for misgendering somebody who just told you their gender identity. It doesn't matter what you look like. Please don't think that I mean that, but it's even worse when I'm running around with a full beard. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So, The nurse comes back in with the scripts, and I'm looking at them, and everything's right on one, and the other one has my name and all that correct, but then has female on the gender. And of course, that's the pain pill, right? So I'm like, hey, do you want to fix that? And she's like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm like, yeah, really? Because I have been working in the medical field for a long time, and I'm sure if there's any error on a controlled substance, they are not going to fill it. Please change it. And she was still giving me flack for it. You know, I'm like, listen to me. So finally, she scribbled it out in pen, put an M there for male, and then walked off. Didn't reprint that. I'm like, Christ, I could have done that. Luckily, I didn't have any problems with the pharmacy, but I do need to follow up and talk to them. I mean, that was the final straw, you know. I mean, it's narcotics. In this day and age, they're making it even harder. You can't even get refills on narcotics anymore in efforts to try and keep people from abusing them. So the fact that she didn't see any problem with it, and just go print another sticker. It literally, I work at this company, it literally takes 10 seconds, you know. You're treating me like I'm being unreasonable and uncooperative. And I told them that I just started working there. I also got a bill for that, which I shouldn't have gotten. I've got a bill for the whole visit, which, you know, I emailed my direct supervisor in the other location, and she said I should not have gotten that. So I'm going to follow that up. I'm not going to pay that bill because it's not what I was told when I was hired there. And I also have to follow up. I have the doctor's name on the prescription. I'm sure they can look up the records and find the nurse's name, but, you know, just the underlying passive-aggressive, what do they call it, microaggressions of that visit. That's something I'm going to have to follow up on, especially in my own damn company. I can't believe they would do that to a fellow employee or any human. You know, how dumb can you be? But anyway, but I'm going to leave this on a positive note. Everything else has been incredible, utterly incredible. You know, I'm loving how much, I should have done this in the sunlight. Now you can kind of see, my beard is really starting to fill in right here. I don't know if you can see on this side or not. My mustache is getting, yeah, you can even see it getting bushier. That's all filling out. And it feels great. I've been shaving my neck, you know, because Quinn says I have to. And stuff, and trying to figure out, I thought maybe of like sculpting it a little bit and doing it, but I want a full, thick beard, even for a little while. I don't know if I'll keep it permanently, but it's just so fun, you know. I'm constantly sitting there, and people probably think I'm thoughtful, you know, because I'm doing this a lot. I'm not, well, I might be thoughtful, but literally I'm stroking my beard, because it's epic, you know. Beyond that, you know, things are mostly good. Pretty much awesome.